The murder-accused Sithembiso Mdlalose no longer stands by the confession he made at the Commission of Inquiry into the Usindiso building fire. He had told the Commission that he started the fire that killed 76 people in August last year. Mdlalose is now facing 76 charges of premeditated murder, 86 charges of attempted murder and 1 charge of arson. The case against him has been postponed for 2 weeks for further investigations.
Mr. Mdlalose has appeared in court at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court in central Johannesburg. He's appearing after he made that confession at the Commission of Inquiry, claiming that he had started the fire that killed over 70 people. Let's get a sense now of how the case has been going so far from his legal representative, Mr. Mabunda. Mr. Mabunda, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. As a defense lawyer on behalf of Mr. Mdlalose, can you give us a sense of how the case is going from your understanding and engagements with Mr. Mdlalose?
There are still outstanding investigations. On the previous occasion, the matter was postponed to today for us to do a pointing out. However, after that postponement, we consulted with our client and we came to a conclusion that it's not necessary or ideal for us to do the pointing out. We actually had to do a further statement. That written statement is obviously contradictory to the so-called confession that was made. The confession that he did is actually, it has come to our attention that he was ill-advised and at that time was not legally represented. He didn't necessarily understand the consequences of the so-called confession. So hence he made another statement right now.
So just to clarify and confirm things, are you saying now that Mr. Mdlalose no longer stands by that confession and now he has put in a statement that contradicts what he had told the Commission of Inquiry?
Indeed, so I confirm that. Remember, when, like I said, there are outstanding investigations. Once investigations are finalized, we will be provided with the copies of the docket. And obviously, this matter is likely to go to trial. So, such issue of this confession will be challenged during what we call a trial within a trial. When the trial proceeds, then we will have to call witnesses to come and testify before the court as to how this confession was obtained, whether it was obtained freely and voluntarily without any undue influence or force to do so. So, the magistrate or the judge will have to decide on that, whether that particular confession is acceptable or not.
So, from what you just explained right now, Mr. Mdlalose is willing to go to trial to prove that he did not, he's not behind the fire that killed those victims, if I understand you correctly. And does he have enough ground to stand against that?
Indeed so. Every accused is innocent till proven otherwise. So in this instance, our instruction is that he is not going to plead guilty to the charges. Rather, he's going to plead not guilty to the charges. He did not commit this crime, and therefore only the state who are alleging has to prove. And obviously they have to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt.
So are there any people, maybe the defense lawyer has engaged with from the residency of Usindiso building, that are willing to come through and support him without giving us details of who they may be?
In actual fact, so far I've only consulted with the accused. We're awaiting the contents of the docket. Once we're in possession of the contents of the docket, we'll decide as to whether we need further witnesses or not, or if we need people who stay in the same building, Usindiso building, just to come as witnesses. So we'll decide, obviously, depending on our consultation based on the copies of the docket.
Just one last question. In terms of safety, is Mr. Mdlalose may be willing or open to applying for bail so that he can be with his family during the course of these investigations and court cases?
Our instructions were to abandon bail, so we're not going to go ahead with the bail for obvious reasons. One of the reasons is safety and other personal circumstances that we looked into. So we're not going to do bail up until such time that investigations are finalized. Once investigations are finalized, we'll take further instructions and decide whether it's necessary for us to proceed with bail or not. But as far as we're concerned, he's a rightful candidate for bail. South African citizen, doesn't have any previous convictions or pending matters. He has a fixed address and he's a rightful candidate for bail. But the only issue is of importance is the issue of safety. Yes.
That's Mr. Mabunda, the defense lawyer representing Mr. Mdlalose, who we know now that will no longer be continuing with that confession he made. Actually, he's willing to stand against that confession due to the fact that, according to that, he was ill-advised. He shouldn't have made that confession because he did not understand the consequences of making such confession. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Usindiso Mdlalose at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court.